So with the new Betaflight 4.6 position hold, you have the option to use the magnetometer or not use the magnetometer. A lot of Betaflight GPS units out there don't have a magnetometer, although it can be very helpful. So the question is, do you really need the magnetometer? What is the difference in flying with the magnetometer and position hold or without the magnetometer position holds? So let's check it out and see how it works and maybe some of the got-yous and some things you need to do when you don't have a magnetometer. It will work without a magnetometer. Let's see how well it will work, and let's review what you need to do if you don't have a magnetometer in your flight.
Engines arm.
All right, so armor up here. Got an HDOP. We've got 16 satellites, HDOP of 1.3, so that's pretty good. You can see the wind is not that. We don't have that much wind here. Checking out that flag. But let's nevertheless, let's put some position hold, see what we get, again, with the magnetometer on.
Position hold.
So this is the magnetometer on. And you can see bouncing elevation a little bit. That's has to do with the barometer and wind, things like that. So that's not the GPS or magnetometer stuff. You can see a good position lock, can move around, so I can obviously switch orientations there. You can see my mag setting, just quickly updating. So now I'm pointing due north, pointing due south, and see that adjustment. It's interesting for yaw tuning. If you have altitude hold, you can use altitude hold for kind of yaw tuning, right? So you can see how that works, and you can obviously move forward going into angle mode and then switching back and just letting it kind of lock back in and getting good behavior. I can move forward again here and just go right back. So I'm in angle mode here, and then as soon as I release, now it's going back into position hold. And you can see how that's working there. So pretty good response here. In one of my last videos, I didn't have the magnetometer perfectly set up, and so that's kind of the difference in behavior here we're getting. But you can see how well this works, and you can also see how I can do things like this and track sideways with the magnetometer and still let go of the 6. And position hold will take over, and now I'm getting some breeze. You can see up at altitude there's a little bit more breeze. See how the quad's fighting it there, and it's working pretty well. One of the other things that we tried last time as well is just how well does it work with inverted. So let's see how that works.
Position hold.
And see how that's flipping, and now we're getting good response from inverted moves and then switching into position hold.
Minus 94 dB. Minus 94 dB. Position hold.
Dang, pretty good. Pretty good. So it seems like with the magnetometer on and well calibrated,
position hold.
You get basically a panic button with position hold.
Manual mode.
And it's pretty locked in.
Minus 96 dB. Position hold. Minus 94 dB. 50 milliwatts.
Yeah, it's holding pretty tight.
dB. 50 milliwatts. Manual mode.
I gotta get the thing working for this.
Position hold.
Inverted yaw spin, still good. So magnetometer on for sure if you want a more of a thorough panic button. Seems like it's holding strong.
Minus 95 dB manual mode.
I got the battery here.
Position hold.
Yeah, good to go. Good to go. Magnetometer on really gives a good lock.
Position hold.
Yeah, definitely. Good panic button with magnetometer on. Trying to fly a little wonky. Just bring her home now.
Manual mode. Position
Whoa! Have the button forward. There, a real actual use of the panic button. So let's bring her on in here and see how then it works with
manual mode.
no magnetometer.
Now, if you have a quad that has a GPS unit or on the flight controller has a magnetometer, don't forget you need to calibrate it, set it up. That means orientation of the magnetometer needs to be set up, it needs to be calibrated appropriately, and you need to verify that it's when the quad's pointing north, it's actually pointing north. I have an entire video on all the ins and outs of that. I'm going to make a link to that in the upper right hand corner when that's done, and it'll also be linked at the end of this video as well. If you don't see those things, it's not posted yet, so subscribe because it's coming in the next few days. Now, the only thing you need to do to have position hold work without having a magnetometer on your GPS unit or flight controller is simply go into the CLI of Betaflight and type in get mag. And then down here at the bottom, you'll see this position hold without magnetometer. And you're going to go ahead and just copy that. That's typically what I do, at least. Type in set, paste it, and then we're just going to turn that to on. And then, of course, don't forget to type in save and hit enter and let that save and reboot. Now, that is a variable that you can turn to on in either case. So if you do have a magnetometer and you want to switch that on, you can still leave that variable the way it is, or you want to have it off, you can leave that variable the way it is. Again, if you have a quad that doesn't have a magnetometer, this will always be off because it won't be able to detect it. But you don't need to switch that variable back and forth if you do want to try it out either way.
Armed.
Okay, so again, we have an HDOP of about 1.4, 16 satellites. And one thing you'll notice right away is that at the top of the screen there, you can see my heading is not accurate. It's just going to point due north. That is not due north there. And we'll actually see that update as we fly forward. And you can see how now that I'm moving forward, how that's adjusting, right? I didn't change orientation at all, but it's adjusting because it's capturing due north from the GPS coordinates. Now that I'm flying around a little bit, now we're going to have that, and it should be in good shape for orientation. Once we have that, you basically have to fly forward a little bit. Once you have that, then you can now enter into position hold, and it's going to do pretty well. So you can see here, position hold, doing decent. Let's go up in elevation here a little bit so you can get some more wind and whatnot, and see how that performs. And then I can even turn there a little bit, and we should still be in some good shape. You see it does well. It's fighting against some wind, going back and forth there a little bit, but it's holding position, and again, no magnetometer. One thing that can mess it up though is if you're flying without one, let's go back to here and put position hold back in, and I can fly around, and you can see here it kind of held that position, and I can fly forward, and I should be in good shape. And if I go ahead and trigger back into position hold, it's gonna go ahead and do that once it holds its position here, and I can turn like before, I can fly forward again, and again you can see that now I'm in angle mode just like before, and I can go ahead and trigger position hold by letting go of the stick, and it's going to find its position. And again, all this with no magnetometer. I can turn, I can even do some of my yaw. So it does surprisingly well, right? No magnetometer, and I'm even flying sideways here. And it's still doing well. It's not messing up my bearing. Flying sideways like that, which is surprising. So well done, Mr. Thompson, on this. I kind of can't believe that. So let me get a little altitude here. Fly sideways for quite a while. You can see that heading is not changing. So it must know that it's had a pitch move. And it's holding it. And I'm still in good shape. That is about north right there. It's doing good. So yeah, quite impressive. Let's see what it looks like now with doing some flip over moves. That was another one. See how that reacts.
Position hold.
Still doing well.
3.3 volts.
Battery's getting a little low.
Manual mode.
Let's do it again.
Position hold.
Wow, impressive. So, still doing really well. All this without a magnetometer.
Manual mode.
Do another one.
Position hold.
Yeah. Holding strong. So there you have it.
Manual mode.
With or without a magnetometer, it seems like Betaflight does pretty dang good. I'm quite impressed by that. Fly around a little bit. And it doesn't seem like it's overly reliant on it
Position hold.
to oh, there's position hold failed.
Manual.
So there you go. If you're getting
3.5
crazy moves, that's where it might be problematic. Doing a little freestyle.
Position hold.
But there it was okay. So it depends how aggressively you're turning and shaking and moving. Without a magnetometer, you could lose it a little bit easier. Again, to be fair, I didn't do that with a magnetometer on, but I'm out of battery at this point. So hopefully that helps. Check out the links below to stuff on the magnetometer. Big thanks to Chris Thompson again for all his hard work on position hold. Thanks everybody. If you haven't subscribed, please do down below. See you on the next one.